All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing tonight? Well, we're here going to look back on the case of Libby and Abby. Um, how we got to where we are after everything got um, done. So I brought up some things up here and some things we look at of the past. Um, and that's what we're going to do. We are doing that. Um, so just waiting till some of the people come on here. I know we got one person watching, but looking back at the Delphi case, since we have a day before the 13th, that's on a Friday, and the 14th is on a Saturday, and try to clear up some things here also on some things I got photos of on here. Hey Mustang, how you doing? So that's where do bring up some things up here. Some people are being idiots out there listening to the ones who they lie. They haven't started at the beginning of this case at all, and they made up a lot of things on photos that's not even true and lies. But they like to listen to the ones. Hey Louise, how you doing? They like to listen to the ones who really lie on this case. Believe it's true, and which it's not. So we're going to start with one. Let me see if I can find it here. Okay, I think I know where I'm go right now. Let me get to it here. This was the B where Nightline. Is it Nightline? Yeah. Okay, I want to share this one. Hey, see through. So, February the 13th, 2:07 p.m. This is where the girls were on. This is the real photo of Abby on the bridge. It's not fake. That's her. That is what came from Libby's iPhone. That is the real photo. And this is where we know all the people who made up the lies right here. This is the real photo. That's her shadow on the bridge. And that's the time frame of what between 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock would be in the middle of that bridge at that time. So, 2:07 p.m. 2:01. Libby took a picture heading south side of the bridge. There was no one on the south side. So this is the real photo. People who are being dumb and stupid. Oh, it's an AI. No. Let me show you something. Let me find it here. Where is it? Let me find it. I'll get here. I'll show you. Where is it? It's out here somewhere. And Where did I put it at? I just uploaded it not too long ago. Well, where the heck to go? Did I upload it? I know I uploaded it. Okay, let me try this again. Okay, where's this? That one. All right, let me show you this one. All right, this is, I don't know where to look for. All right, so the one that let me see, where are you at? Yeah. So this is the photo people probably talked about because it's been inserted. And that's where the people are getting confused. People like Gray Hughes, and he inserts where people, I think this is Gray Hughes' one. He insert showing where the killer was standing at, walking past the tree. Before this tree. There's exactly before this tree. So Gray Hughes did this one, kind of like this one. He inserted him where it matches the tree limbs, and this has been inserted. But like I said, the other one, Living Abby, Abby standing on the bridge, that has not been inserted. That's her real person. And this is where the confusion stopped because everybody said, oh, that's been inserted. And the cops had to put a freeze frame of the killer. That, because since it's a video, the police had to freeze frame the photo from that video. And let me see if I can find that one here. Or is he yeah, there's that one. And there's another one. So I got several others that I found be helpful on what I'm doing tonight. I'll make sure I get the right one here. Now here's another one. This is another one that somebody did. Make sure it's the right one. Okay, storage Google. Okay, so storage Google. Where is it? Is it? Yeah. Where's that blue thing? I'm looking for it. What's it? Add storage Google. That's why I can't find. Why can't I find that? That one. One particular one. Is it this one? I think it was that one. What's the number? 6? I think this is it. Well, this is part of where the girls were found. You can tell a steep hill of where they had to go down to where the girls were. I'm trying to figure out how to get to, what is this one? Um, anyway, fellas, how you doing? I'm trying to find that one. This is saved. I can't figure out how to get that one. Well, I'll look at another one here. Hold on. I got another one here with him in it. Now, here's a good one. Here, let's do this one here. All right, that's that one. All right. So let me do this one. Oh, yeah. Oh, there it is. All right. This is what I'm trying to get. So this is somebody did those computer things. The police had to freeze frame this photo from the video and try to get him just right. So at that time, that's all they had to do. That's all they had at the time. They didn't have all the materials to keep him going. Besides, they had to keep him going. Because at that time, we were all asking, let us see him walk. Because they wasn't let us see anything, see how he walks, how he moves on the bridge. Because that's the only way to be able to know how he walks. And with his arms in his pocket all the way to the end of the bridge. So that's how the Indiana State Police, law enforcement, was able to just do this before showing how the killer walks. Now, this other one, let me find this other one. Okay, gotcha. Let me show you this one. I don't know how many. Hey, Cindy, how you doing? I don't know how many you saw this one of Richard Allen. Let's see here. Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. Hold on. Okay, so if we go to, which one was that? It's Facebook. I'm trying to get to that one. I don't know if you saw this one or not. Found one. This is Richard Allen with him being skinny. There's the jacket. There's the blue jacket. Look how much hair he had in this photo. And I don't know what year this was, but this person who took Rich Allen found this photo of Rich Allen. There's the jacket, the windbreaker jacket. Look how skinny he was at that time. I don't know what year it is, but this is April 8th of 2025. But this person found Richard Allen. So there, he's wearing that hooded jacket, windbreaker. He's on the Moron Trail because that's some of the trees. I don't look like cactus or anything, but that looks like some of the trees. But that's Richard Allen. Can you believe that? That's what he looked like. Hey, Dubilis, how you doing? Probably Dubas. Probably. Yeah. LOL. Yeah, that's Richard Allen. Can you believe it? There's the jacket. There's the blue jacket he was wearing. So there's the blue jacket. Now let me show you something else here. Hold on. Let me find another one here. All right, here's another one. Now, during this time, we know everybody's talking about the creek. How high? Well, there it is. Look how high that creek is. That's the time of all the yellow tape was all up and the creek was up at the time. So there's a photo of the creek. Look at the hills. Over there, this is the Weber's property. That's the hill. This is what it looked like. And this is where Richard Allen told Libby to take her clothes off, but Abby had hers, and she was naked going across the creek. Libby was naked going across that deep, high creek area. And this is where he saw the white van. The girls were over here on that side of the creek, over there where that hill is. That's where Brad Weber's home is. And that's where Rich Allen spooked himself because he saw the white van. So this is how he saw the white van, because there's no leaves on these trees. The road goes right along the edge of that hill on top. So when he says he saw the white van, how would he know there was a white van? This is how. He looked up, he saw a vehicle coming. Richard saw Brad Weber's white van. This is where he saw the van going right along that hillside up top. They were down here. Libby was naked, not Abby. Or Libby had to walk across that creek with no clothes on and come over on this side. Now, people think, well, how? How would he know about a white van? If he wasn't there, how would he know about a white van? If he wasn't there. And that's the question. How would he know? The house it goes up and around. Once he gets up here, Brad Weber goes around. But along that road up there, you can see the van. The white van that Brad Weber has. So, yes, if he's down here looking up, he can hear that vehicle on those rocks and saw that white van. How would he know? How would he know about that white van? Then who put the clothes in the creek? Well, probably Libby had to drop her clothes right there in the creek. She carried them across the creek. Thought, well, if I'm carrying across the creek, I'll be able to put my clothes back on. That's the only way that the clothes got dropped in the creek. Because I have another one. Hold on. Let me find this other one that it's like on the opposite side. Let me see here. I know I got that one. I'll show you. Where is it? Where is it? I had all kinds here. Hold on. Let me find that one. All right. Hold on. Let me get that photos of. All right, let me see here. Oh, here you go. So if we look here, I got another one here. All right, got that one. Let me look here. Okay, so that's not it. Hold on, that's not it. Well, come on, why can't I see that? I need to see this. All right, enlarge, I guess. So where this is, hold on. All right, I got it here. Hold on. Let me switch here. So let me switch here. All right. So if we, where is it? Where's that? Okay. So if we look here, this would be on the way going across the creek. So this is Libby's shirt, underwear, shoes. This is Libby's shoes. So in between here to the other side of that creek. All right, let me find the one I'm looking for. So okay, let me look at this one here because I got okay, is that all right, no one showing here. So if we look at okay, so this is the road right here to Brad Weber's place, okay? Down here where Libby and Abby and Rick were standing. This is where Rick saw the white van. This is why I said this is the road that close to the edge of the hill. You can see that big white van. This is his property right here. You can see, look, you have a white cars, white trucks park up here. You can hear a car or a van, whatever, going along that road. And over here's where they cross. So somewhere in here is where those clothes are. Could be where it dropped here, where they can get up the hill because it was deep. So she couldn't hold on her clothes, and she had either he told her to drop the clothes there and get up there, and he must like to see her naked because she's awfully close to his daughter in the first place. So pretty much there's a person standing here looking that way. You can see he's got a little shadow down here. But if you take a look, you could be able to see cars down below. This is where he was with the girls. He saw the white van. How would he not see the white van? Hey, Frank Meisters. About to watch the piece. Is cool. So on this, you can see he can see the white van. How would he not know not to see the white van? That's where he spooked and went across to Ron Logan's side. And Yeah, he got spooked right here. This is where you can see his van. If he was going to do the girls, it would have been right here. So he would still either kill Libby Abby there on the Weber's property, and I don't think he had any intentions to go to Ron Logan's side at all. He wanted to do here with the girls, and it would have been on Brad Weber's property. Now, do you see? People think, oh, because he went over there, because he got spooked by Brad Weber's van. So he went across, took those girls across the creek. One naked, one not. But the girls, Abby was wet from the water, so he put clothes over Abby to keep her warm because Libby was already dead and stuff. Let me see here, another thing here. Oh, yes. I'll show you another thing. Hey, Luna, how you doing? Yep, agreed. Now, here's another one. Let me get to it. Now, look at his arm. Look at this arm. Look at his arm. That matches how he curves his arm and elbow. Curves his arm like that. Look, he curves his arm. He curves his arm. And look how he got his hand in the pocket. Okay, he's got him out on this, but he's got his hands in the pocket. But he curves his arm. Look, arm curves outward. And still wearing that blue jacket. Remember I showed you the blue jacket? And here's another one. Let me show you another one, ladies and gentlemen. Now, here's his arm again. And here's his other arm. Look, same thing. Let me get to the other one. Look at his pants. Wrinkled up. Look how he wears his pants over his shoes. And his arm is more bent on this side than this side. Let me get back to the other one. Here, hold on. Let me get back to the other one. So, look, his arm's a lot closer to his right arm's a lot inward, more closer, like the other one. If you look at this, look how his arm's bent. His arm's bent the same way on the left. On the other photo I just saw, look how close. Let me get to the other one. I'll be able to show you again. There you go. Look how close. This arm's closer to his right side. That's him. And you look at this arm, it's out. So, if they didn't show this in the courtroom, you can tell that is Richard Allen. Let me see here. Find another one. Now, I want to show you something else here. 77. Where Rich Allen is standing. Now, here's the north end. Before they just moved everything, where the flowers here, this is where the north end of the bridge. Beyond this, Richard Allen, like I said, Richard Allen is farther back here, past this mark. That's why Libby couldn't film Richard Allen because he was farther back. If she took a picture of Abby on the second platform, they would have saw him on that video of him on Libby's phone. So he was back here, beyond that you couldn't see. All you saw is this. That's all I saw. Beyond that, farther back, he was farther back. I'm trying to find. Here's one. It is sharing Daily Mail. Okay, let me get to this one. So this is the south side of the bridge. Because this is the tree. These are the trees that you see pass through. See, another thing, there was tons of leaves down the south side end. There are lots of them down there. And Libby had to slide down the hill on her butt. She never walked down the hill. She slid down the hill. And that's why there was a dark mark of butt going all the way down that hill, on this hill. And knowing Richard slid down himself, he fell down. You can't walk on leaves because it's wet from the winter weather. But Libby slid down on the south side of the hill to get down to the bottom of the road. And we figure out Richard Allen slipped on because it was slippery with all those leaves. You can't stand on leaves going down the hill and stuff. But Libby slid down the hill on her butt. And that's what she did. She didn't like walking down the hill. She liked sliding down the hills. So that's what it was like on the south end the day of the murder when they asked go down the hill. So once they went down that hill, that's probably where the recording stopped and stuff. So there's that one. Now, let me see here. Now, we will remember one thing is the memorial that we all started doing the walks, made a little memorial here for Libby and Abby. A lot of flowers, a lot of memories. This one's Christmas tree to remember. Bear, a little teddy bear. Every year there's a lot of people putting different things out there. Haven't seen what it looks like now. Probably not much, but we're always thinking of these girls. Let me see here. I'm fine. Oh, okay. Here's another one. Now, without this other one, doesn't have the barricade since it's gone. So this is where the first platform is, where everybody saw Rich Allen, where that road right here, little walkway path, that's where the area of the orange barricade was built out of railroad tracks in the first place. So beyond this bend, behind this person, beyond this bend here, where Rich Allen was past that, cannot be seen by Libby's phone. Once he's waiting to see which way the girls go, head towards him. He would get them, but they didn't take the way that they could have got safe. Thought that was nowhere out, no place to go. And he saw the girls going the south end, so that's when he started coming towards the girls on the bridge. There's some platform there. There's some railroad ties missing here. You have to walk around on the platform to get past that. And then there were several others down on that track. Now, here's another one. 9 years. Yes, Cindy, it's been 9 years. Police went out Ron Logan's place. This was issued March 17th, 2017, where officers went to his place, took his truck, took everything he computers, knives, guns, everything out of the house. They brought in a flatbed tow truck to pick up his full-size extended truck. Search warrant on Ron Logan's house because that's the day he lied. But we all know where he was at the time of the murder, so he wasn't there at all. And he got back late. And then when he got back late, he knew he was screwed. He saw what's going on and stuff, but he knew he's not supposed to be driving. So that was the issue for a warrant for his arrest for his house. However, the cause affidavit. So issue was March 17th, 2017. So it wasn't Ron Logan. Everybody keeps on saying it's Ron Logan, but it wasn't really at all. Your schedule is crazy, Cindy. Let me see something else here. Here's a good one. All right, so we have everybody. This is Libby's phone. Everybody's talking about Libby's phone, how dirt get into the phone, which when it says the SIM card in that particular phone, if it turns red, that means the phone's dead. It's not workable. It can start up by itself once it dries, but by then it was already too late. So the SIM card says it's broken, not workable. So you see condensed water on the phone there, and she was laying on top of it. Let me see what else here. All right, here's another one. And here's another one. where Libby and Emily's having fun together at Purdue. You can tell Libby doesn't leave her. She's glued to her phone in her hand, so she's always having her phone. But you can tell both of them are having fun, and she's always having her. Libby's always have texting on her phone all the time, talking to people, friends from school or family. Let me see here. What's this one? Oh, here's another one. Everybody's talking about the. Remember, everybody's talking about the truck. See, one thing is about this. The police. The one mistake they did was they didn't check the cemetery before entering that area and see if there's any clues from any people besides one of the McCain brothers. His parents is buried. This is where this state trooper car in the van. This is where their mother or father are buried at, right here. Okay, in between this car and that van, that's where they're buried. So that's where he came. So Rich Allen came down here first before heading back to the welfare office. Now everybody's talking about the truck. Here's the orange truck. And you can see how clear the weeds and stuff. Rich Allen went through the ravine through here. This is how Rich Allen went through the ravine. This is the ravine down below here. He would cut across up through here to get to the cornfield. And that's where the other witness who left Rich Allen on the trail and saw him again in the cornfield over here. This is where the cornfield. But the police should have checked this area before entering the cemetery. That was their one mistake. They did not do that before entering the cemetery. They didn't thought of, okay, we need to check the cemetery before we entering, see if there's any clues in the cemetery. That's the one thing they did not do, to check to see if there's any clues. Because when I did a video of if you could see my car and I was walking backwards, and you couldn't see my car at the bottom of the hill because it's hard to see from the road to the bottom of the hill unless you have a van or a truck. You can be able to see, but if you have a little lower to the ground car in this area here, you can't see it unless you able to see here. What's kind of slanting down or the trees. If you park close to the edge, that you couldn't see the car and stuff. So that's the other one. Take a look of. Let's see here. What else here? Oh, yes. This one last thing. And so, thanks, Cindy. All right. So, here's another one. At the time, everybody was talking about teddy bears and stuff. Well, the teddy bears wasn't down by the girls at all. The teddy bears were right here. You see one teddy bear right here. All the people who donate flowers and put it out here. There's a couple of older flowers here. Right here, these are kind of dead flowers, but some bought fake flowers. Heart flowers right here. A rabbit, some flowers there. But that's been out there. And then you can tell it slopes down in the north end here. Wasn't level anymore. But at the end, they did find the killer. The two photos that showed of Rich Allen how he's standing with his arms, one arm farther out, curved, and the other closer to, on the right side, closer to his right side, closer than left side. So, yeah. Let's see here. Yep. Jubilee definitely triggering the Allen Truther leakering. LOL. Yep, that's true. Original OG. Let's see here. Go back here in the chats here. So, see through. That's a good question, a see through. That is a very good question. How come Richard Allen didn't undress them over on the other side? That's a very good question about that. That is a very good question. He already had Libby undressed on the Weber side, but Abby was not undressed. So then had Abby undress on Ron Logan's side. Take all her clothes off. Because her clothes have been wet too. But Libby was already totally naked at that point. Abby wasn't, but once they got over to that side of Ron Logan, then he asked her to undress. Abby undressed on that side. That's how you got clothes from two different sides here. I have never spoken to him like that, so it was the first thing I noticed about him. Yeah, doing this. So it was, you can tell in the two photos I showed up here, it is Richard Allen, and how he holds his left arm out and curves, and holds his right arm closer to his right side. So yes, it is him. Let me share this here on my Facebook. Let me see here. Which one just went? Can't remember which one went. But you can tell how he's standing with his left arm out and his right arm. So basically, you can see how he's standing. And let me make sure I got the right. Yeah, got both of them on page. But yeah, you can watch. You can see how he's standing. That is Richard Allen, and definitely. And if I look at, where's that one? There's one of these Facebook. Where'd he go? There's that one. Okay, hold on. Remove that one. Remove that. Oh, yes, that's another thing. Now, here's another thing. Parking. It's parking. This is how people parked the side of the road at that time of the murder. People parked on the side of the road right here. That's how they park. And plus, let me find where to go. There we go. Let me show you this one. All right, stop sharing that one. And here's hey, Melissa. So people will park through here, park right in there. This is without that red fence before they put in that red fence. So this is where the girls were dropped off. Cars will park through here on the side of the road because there was really no parking people down here. Some people didn't park at the Premium Bridge parking area. They would park here because it was shorter and closer for people who can get there or who can't walk that far. But this is what it looked like at the time of the murder. No red fence, just that fence there, and people would park here along the road here, across from yours. So there's some of it right there. What do you mean riding a lawnmower? Where's that? Must have been really crowded. Oh wait, the videos of AI created by NASA. So there you go. Looking back on the case, the real story, how everything came together. I was trying to find the helicopter scene. There was a white tent down there where the crime scene was to cover the girls up. So they couldn't see the girls at the time of flying over the crime scene at that time when they found the girls. And I couldn't find that. But yeah, the question that see through, I don't think he wanted to go across the creek. I think he wanted to do the girls there on Brad Weber. So it would be, if he wasn't spooked by Brad coming home, seeing that white van, top of the hill. Let me find that again so you can see that one more time. There you go. All right, let me show you again on the hill. So this is where Richard Allen saw Brad Weber coming home. He was down here having Libby take her clothes off, but he got spooked. Richard Allen didn't know if Brad Weber saw him or not. I don't think Brad Weber wasn't paying attention in the first place. And this is when he got spooked, when he saw the white van. He was the only one there. Took the girls across the creek because it would have been wet and muddy to get on the banks at that time, how high it was. They would have to grab a hold of a tree, this tree here, to get up, or go down further to get up on the property where the girls were found at that time. Like I said, here's a white truck. This is all officers. There's a gentleman sitting, one of the officers or stuff. But you'll be able to see his van come along that edge. And that's how you can look up, because that was how it looked at the time. No leaves or anything on the tree. So that's pretty much. And like I said, where you go? All right, it's this one right here. Let me stop this. And you, dubiously, you can't miss him in this jacket. There's the blue jacket. That's what he looked like. Well, how come did that come through? Did it come through? There you go. So there you go. There's the blue jacket. That's what he looked like. I don't know what year that was with that jacket. But the phone is crossed at crime scene at 2:32. Brad comes home 2:44. So, well, there's a lot of people's times were off. Who knows? See through. But there it is. There's this jacket that he wore. And that's how skinny he looks now. He gained weight, lose weight, gain weight. So there you go. So somewhere in between those two times see through, he saw Brad Roder coming home at that time. Spooked him. I don't think nobody know what time. I don't think people care as long as he says he saw the white van. And he said if people says he saw the white van, then that's the time he saw it. It wasn't no 2:44. So it was somewhere after 2:30. It only takes 15 minutes. Whatever he did, it only lasts 15 minutes. If that one lady walked back to her vehicle, so it's that time, wherever she saw Richard Allen on the north end of that bridge, that's the time she saw him. Was the time on his phone or camera? Well, that's the question. He all of a sudden he lost that phone he had with him. He lost that phone to look at his stocks. So where is that phone? It would have been said. What time? Because the phone got wet in his pocket crossing that creek. Since how short he is, wherever he put his phone out in his pocket, he knew the phone wasn't working. He had to get a whole new phone. Just think he has to be at a crime scene when he saw it. Yep. Correct, see-through. Weber? Oh, Brad Weber's phone or camera? Well, he wouldn't know if it was going on, Cindy. The girls didn't scream. If the girls screamed, he would have heard it. He had other dash cams in that property, Cindy. Everybody said there were several other dash cams around that property to watch. Somehow Rich Allen got by of somehow his phone connected to Wi-Fi at 250. Oh, okay, Cindy, gotcha. So somewhere along the line, he crossed that creek. Rich Allen's phone went dead. So yeah, Richard Allen's phone went dead and he couldn't use it. And when it, like I said earlier, on Delphi Dilemma, um, there was people asking about, there was a color scheme on the SIM card, and as long as it says red, that means on the SIM card in the cell phone of Libby, it went dead. She couldn't work. The phone wouldn't work, and it was blue or white. I did a thing on here, so the camera time was off. Yes, I'm saying yes, that could be correct. The camera time was off and stuff. So, but there it is. The Richard Allen. And then at the end, it's about two girls who shouldn't be buried today. And this is a reminder that anything can happen when you walk out that front door of yours. Anything. You don't know when it's going to happen. When you walk out that front door of yours. I always say that anything can. You think you'd be safe walking out that front door, driving, going to parks, if they don't have cameras or anything for protecting the McCain brothers didn't think of that because they have heard a lot of other parks like this, trails like this, people got hurt, robbed, sexual attack on trails. They should have had cameras, but they didn't. It was their project to keep that trail safe for anyone. They didn't. They did not keep that trail safe at all. But at the end, this is two girls should not be buried 6 feet under at all. None whatsoever. Yes, Cindy. Beware your surroundings. After the murders, they told people if you're going on the trail, take your camera, phone camera, take a picture, film it. If you think somebody is acting weird on a trail somewhere or out in the parking lot, wherever you're traveling, United States, look. It could be you. It could be in a car accident. You don't know. But once you walk out that front door, it's open game to anyone to get hurt by somebody out there. Well, hey, thanks for all coming. Appreciate it. And I'll put this on my Facebook page, and so you guys can watch it again on there. And take a look. I put already those two pictures of Richard Allen on there, and I'll put that one of Richard Allen here also. See if I can share it. Let me see if I can copy it. Can I share it? See if I can share it on my thing. Yeah, I did. So I put a picture of Richard Allen when he looks young, and the jacket he was wearing, the blue jacket on there. So, good night, everyone. Have a nice evening, and thanks for all coming. Bye now.